Hi everyone, my name is Matthew Chen. Today I'd like to share with you how we can help banks to strive through collaborative banking. So these days everyone's talking about banking 4.0. So what is banking 4.0? A lot of people actually mistakenly thinking that banking 4.0 is just mobile banking app, right? A very interesting test to do is nowadays everyone has smartphones, right? So you can actually rank, all the applications, all the apps that you use on your smartphones. You can rank them by screen time, right? You can see how actively that you are using your own mobile banking app. Usually, without a doubt, usually your own mobile banking app is by far the last little dot in the end, right? So everyone knows there's a super app in China. It's called WeChat, right? Commands more than 1 billion users, right? Social platform, the biggest social platform in China. So a lot of banks actually think they can build a super app, but actually it proven is very difficult because all of the peoples that in the ecosystem, as you can look at, right, the outer layer is all your partner ecosystem. So it doesn't matter travel, accommodation, shopping, education, social entertainment, medical transportation, lifestyle, so on and so forth. It's just that these partners ecosystem, these people are not in your banking ecosystem. So it's very difficult to drag them onto your mobile banking app, but rather the bank need to weave your product and services into your partners ecosystem. So banking 4.0 is all about working with and through your partners ecosystem and to onboard customers, not only through your own channels, but through your partners channel, right? So this is the first layer, the outer layer, the fundamental layer of banking 4.0. But in order for that to happen, it actually demands a very flexible core. That's why we're talking about open banking, open APIs. And then we're also talking about, cloud native microservices oriented architecture, right? So because in order to weave your product and services into your partners ecosystem, your core, need to be very open and very flexible, right? This is why a lot of traditional core banking system probably is a bit obsolete because it's too monolithic, right? But a lot of people actually overlook the middle layer. So what is the middle layer? The middle layer is actually the analytical layer. So we like to call it the brains of a bank, decision making. It's all about using big data and AI to do risk management and position marketing. Because unlike the old days, the risk management, you can wait until the end of the day for the batch to run to give you the exposure and position to do risk management the next day. So T+1 no longer is enough, right? Everything have to happen now and here. So it's all about real time and T+0, right? So these three layers together, it will give you a full stack of banking 4.0. Now let's look at how banking 4.0 in action, right? So what you're looking at is actually one of the first digital bank in China. You probably guess, right? It is WeBank. They got their banking license towards the end of 2014, and then we helped them to launch the digital platform in 2015. And then one of the first product they designed is actually to help university graduates to get a loan, to micro loan, to pay for their rental, right? As you know that Shenzhen these days is Silicon Valley, so the property price is really shooting through the roof. So they cannot afford to buy, they can only rent, but they don't have enough saving to even get that first down payment. So very small ticket item for a very small duration, but even that, they cannot get a loan from a traditional bank. So that's why this micro loan product is really targeted at this very specific underserved market by using big data and AI. And then look at them, right? So 5 years down the track, they clock 100 million customers already. And look at the NPL ratio, it's only 0.51. So very, very impressive stats here. You might wonder, it's very good about China, right? Because China is 1.4 billion, a large population, homogeneous countries with a super app such as WeChat, they can tap into. But what about outside China, right? We have, so many silos and not large enough population, right? So the example you're looking at is actually one of the first digital bank in Philippines, right? So they have no branches, just one HQ with 2 ATM machines downstairs, right? So unlike China, outside China, there's still a large component of cash economy. So first question we need to resolve is how we handle the cash handling, right? So you can see that by helping them to connect with more than 20,000 ATM machines, so other banks infra, right? So as long as they have a Visa Plus logo or PayNet logo, and then you have a debit card from this bank, you can withdraw cash from any of these 20,000 ATM machines nationwide for free, right? Why for free? Because all the savings we help them to save on infra, they'll be able to pass on to the customers, right? And then cash in, right? So 8,000 7-Elevens. So using the concept of agent banking, we help them to connect with more than 8,000 7-Elevens to handle the cash-ins. And then all the utility bill payments, mobile top up, we help them connect with all the payment entities. So all the payments can be made very conveniently at the fingertips. And then one of the important customer acquisition, actually, they're working very closely with one of the largest e-wallet in Philippines, right? So by weave their smart saving product into this e-wallet, because e-wallet obviously is not a bank, they cannot pay interest. A few clicks in the e-wallet, these customers of e-wallet can become these bank's customers just within a few clicks, right? So onboarding through the partners app, right? That's what I talked about before. And then, during the pandemic situation, even we helped them to launch a smart loan product to help, especially the SMEs that has, hardships, going through some working capital issues, to help them to, get a loan 12 months, interest-free loans, a fixed-term loan for 12 months, right? So we can push out that kind of loan in a matter of days, right? So it's a very, very fast time to market. You might wonder, right? This is very good for a brand new digital bank, but what about if you are existing bank with existing systems? So what do you do, right? So some banks actually went on the path of just doing the outer layer, just mobile layer, right? So they created a digital skin and wrapped the digital skin around the existing core, but often they find that the existing core is too much a dinosaur to push product into the market. But then again, they don't want to go to a big bank because that's too risky. So we actually coined a solution, we call it a parallel solution. So it's actually a gradual replacement methodology. So what do I mean by that? We actually help them to launch a brand new digital bank. So almost like building a WeBank, or that Philippine bank, a brand new digital bank, a digital challenge bank within the bank, sitting side by side with the existing core, without disturbing the business as usual. Of course, we talk to the existing core in terms of customer information, in terms of regulatory reporting, as well as the data and general ledger. But the first phase is all about attracting NTB, new to bank customers, without touching the ETB, existing to bank customers, right? And the second phase, once let's say your existing customers, nothing stopping them from opening a digital account in the digital core. If they like the experience in the digital core, nothing stopping them from close the bank account in the old core, transfer the fund, and move to the new core. So they can migrate by themselves, which really, really minimize the migration costs, right? There's only the last phase. We left with a very handful of corporate banking customers, because all the retail and SME customers, they'll be able to migrate themselves. So we only need to do the migration in the last phase for the corporate banking customers. And also by then, your banking users also already get familiarized themselves with the digital core. So also minimize the so-called project risk, right? And this example that you're looking at, one of our first customer in Thailand, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, they are using a mainframe core banking system, a legacy system. So we help them to launch a digital core side by side. Now we're in the phase of moving and hopefully converging the two core into one, right? And of course, these days, you can't do it with talking about cloud, right? So a lot of people talking about cloud. So everything I talk about so far in this session can be made available on a cloud. Depending on regulation of the country, it doesn't matter, private cloud, hybrid or public cloud, we can do that from technology point of view, right? So obviously we work very closely with Huawei. We can make that digital platform really available, almost like a turnkey, out-of-box solutions through Huawei's cloud, right? So I'm conscious of time. So that will be the end of my presentation, and I welcome any questions you might have. Thank you.